So we're doing a partnership with Participant Media to get everybody to see Inconvenient Sequel. I care about people seeing it because I want them to get educated on the facts. And John, so I'm going to tell you about when I was wrong. The audience loves this, right? Normally I'm like, oh.
Forget the audience, I love it.
That's right. Normally I'm like, I told you, right? So you remember I used to be a knuckleheaded Republican back in the day. You've heard that. I mean, you weren't there.
But yeah, I wasn't watching then, but yes.
Yeah. And one of the things I was skeptical about was climate change. Now, to be fair to me, and I love to be fair to me, that was all the way back in the 1980s and into the 1990s. And I would say, look, I don't know that there's enough information out there. And then there was this guy warning us all, John the Baptist or Al Gore or something like that.
It's one of the two.
And I was like, okay, I mean, you say tomato, but I could see how it could be tomato. And then you know what happened? Information started coming in. And then one year was the hottest year on record, and then again, and again, and again, and again, right? And I saw Inconvenient Truth in 2006, and I was like, oh, that's really bad. Like, at that point, I had begun to realize I'd put some of my knuckleheaded ways past me and behind me, but it was like, I knew it was bad. And then I saw the movie, I was like, no, oh no, it's way worse than I realized. But that wasn't like a depressing worse than I realized. It was, you know me, I'm like, let's go get him. Let's go get him. Whose house? Our house, right? The planet's our home, so we're gonna defend him, as they talk about in the trailer. So, I don't know, I guess I'm telling you that story, John, because I feel like actually getting to learn things is a good thing, and it can work. Like, people are always like, no, we're siloed, and nobody's ever going to change their mind. I'm here to tell you, no, people change their minds, including me, okay? And so, even if you're a skeptic, oh, God help you at this point. I mean, all those years in a row where it's the hottest on record, all those months in a row.
It coincidentally kept getting hotter after the first movie came out.
So if you weren't sure back then, you might want to look into the numbers now, right? You gotta be sure by now, but if you're not, go see the movie and just hear them out. And you might look at it and go, oh, yeah, the facts, okay? And then that's that, right? But at least go to Inconvenient Sequel. It comes out nationwide August 4th, LA, New York on July 28th. But give it a shot is what I'm saying. And look, people come up to me all the time too, and they say, look, you gotta think about things a little differently. I remember somebody came up and said, or a lot of people came up and said, I used to be conservative. A bunch of people said, I used to be evangelical. I used to be religious in different religions, or I used to be this, or I used to be that. People do change their minds. And so that's why I like this movie. I wanted to partner with them, and why I think you should see it.
Look, I gotta admit, when I was like 13, I came across a book by Rush Limbaugh. Didn't know who he was, read a little bit. I was like, this is really interesting. Then I turned 14 and I moved on. People evolve. It's an amazing species we've got here.
All right, rub it in. You caught on a little quicker than I did. My dad, though, who was in his 60s at the time, a lifelong Republican at the time, called me one day and said, Cenk, I think this Bill O'Reilly, he turned, I don't know what he turned into there.
Yeah,
anyway, he said,
I've heard him speak, that's not what he sounds like.
He's like, this Bill O'Reilly, I think he might be lying. But seriously, that was the first time, you know, and he's like, there's something wrong. They're not telling the truth.
Yeah.
And then when you
Certainly
see things like,
issue.
yeah, and when he saw it and I saw it, you see things like Inconvenient Truth, you have a moment like, oh, that's right, that's what it was. So that's, again, part of the reason why I want you guys to see the movie. Check it out and see what you think, okay? And then if it spurs you to action, wonderful, then take action and let's go change the world together.